Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Hey guys, how's it going? Glad everyone is able to join me tonight. I know this is extremely short notice. I usually do notices a day before, but you know, I felt like getting on, and so I'm happy that you guys are able to join me. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I'll read them. Anything you guys want to talk about, physical media related, the strike, film related, whatever you want to talk about, within reason. Let's just hang out and chat for a bit. I thought that while we do that, I'll go ahead and show my Steelbook collection, because throughout the months I've had people ask me, I want to see your Steelbook collection. What do you have? You got to do a collection video. And I don't really like doing collection videos. Number one is because the next day it's already outdated, because I buy new physical media every week or every other week. So if I do a collection video and I buy more Blu-rays or 4Ks or Steelbooks, then the video I just did is outdated. So that's one reason why I don't really like doing collection videos. But I thought, hey, why not? Let's do it, because there's one thing that I wanted to show you with a new Steelbook that I got yesterday from Paramount, and you guys may have already seen it. But first, before we get into that, I wanted to talk about this. And this is the first Steelbook that I'm going to show, and that is Picard Season 3. Let me zoom in there for a bit so you can take a better look at the artwork there. There we go. So, Picard Season 3, Blu-ray. There's the artwork there. And I don't know about you, but I'm a Star Trek fan, and I have absolutely hated what new Star Trek has been doing. I couldn't stand Picard Season 1 and 2. I stopped watching, I don't even remember what the first one was called, the first show, and Strange New Worlds. It was the first season was alright. It felt like Star Trek a little bit, but in the second season, completely gone from that feeling. But that's what happens. I've said this before. That's what happens when you put people that are in charge of a show that don't even like the show they're producing. J.J. Abrams, Alex Kurtzman, others have come out and said that they don't like Star Trek. They've never liked Star Trek, yet they're running these TV shows for Star Trek, producing them, and J.J. Abrams is producing and directing the movies, or the first two movies. Why would you do that? If you don't love something you're doing, then why are you doing it? For the money, of course. But they brought a new showrunner in that actually grew up with Star Trek. He loves Star Trek, and this is why Star Trek Picard Season 3 is so great. But the issue with this Blu-ray is, and I'm going to show a picture of it here, there's an issue with the final episode, episode 10 on disc 3, and it is with this shot right here. See if I can bring it up here. Okay, so this shot right here. Down below is the Blu-ray. Up on top is the streaming. Now, you notice the difference there in the background with space? Yeah. It's just basically space, or it is space, with the Blu-ray shot. But on the streaming shot, the background is completely different. And I have talked to some people about this, and they've confirmed that somehow, some way, Paramount ended out using a template that it was used for the special effects, and they ended out, for some reason, somehow used that template visual effect shot on the Blu-ray instead of using the finished visual effect shot that was shown on streaming. I don't know how that happens, guys. I mean, mistakes happen, but I mean, that's a pretty big mistake. I hope that Paramount recognizes this, takes notice, and corrects it, and reissues the Blu-rays. because for fans like myself, this is pretty big. I mean, how do you mess up like that? I mean, it's obvious the difference is there. So again, I really hope that Paramount recognizes the mistake of using the unfinished visual effects template, and redoes it with the special effects template. I mean, look, even on the Enterprise doesn't even look fully done yet. So yeah, so that's one issue with this Blu-ray. Other than that, it's a great looking Blu-ray. I was happy with it. I'm going to open up the chat here, see what is going on here. All right. The Burrow family says, looks terrible, yikes. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I really hope that Paramount fixes this issue, because it's not good. It's not good. So hopefully. Okay, so this is something new too. This is a steelbook, a type of steelbook that has never been brought to physical media platform at all. I'm going to close the chat here real quick so you get a better view of it. This is for the 4K UHD of Sleepy Hollow. I love the artwork there. It's pretty cool artwork. And what makes this different, though, is that the steelbook is actually a book inside. This has never been done before. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here without showing my ugly mug too much. So you open it up, and it's an actual book. It's hard covered. That's pretty cool too. It's not soft page, it's hard covered. And so it is, I haven't really looked at the book, so I'm not sure exactly what's in the book. I'm assuming probably production notes and so forth. This is pretty cool. I know that Paramount released this as a steelbook, as a digibook or media book edition a few years ago, but it was all soft pages, and this is hard pages like an actual tabletop book. And then we have the 4K disc there. So I thought that was kind of cool. Something that really has never been done before for the steelbooks. I've never seen this before. So yeah, I think that was pretty cool, and it's got a lot of weight to it too, because it's hardbound book. Let's see here. John Pimmel says, "I'm going to see Picard. Oh, going to see Picard season 3, episode 2 tonight on the disc." Nice. Yeah, I believe you put on your Twitter that I guess the episode that you watched was kind of dark, rather than a streaming. I haven't watched it, so I'm not exactly sure. I've heard that it's a beautiful restoration, though. Before we dive in, I wanted to show this. This is a steelbook, but it's not a movie. I bought a Xbox S series, and it came with this for some reason, because I bought the digital version. So I don't know why they're giving away this steelbook for the hard disk edition when it's all digital. But it's free, so I'll take it. Sure, why not? Let's move on. And I showed this last night as well, and that is Infinity Pool. This is the uncut edition. I talked about this last night on my other stream channel or stream show, so if you want to know more about it, watch that. Now this is one of my prized possessions. Let's get into the chat here. John Pimmel says, "Correct. I'm not feeling the show I'm not feeling the show looks great. Not so much for dark, but that it seems to be soft and glowy, as the look of most live action Star Trek shows at this point." Yeah, I've kind of heard the same thing. I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't say it's a poor transfer, would you? This is one of my prized possessions here, and it is Game of Thrones. This is the complete series steelbook, and it is numbered. This is number 3,399 out of 7,600. I love the artwork around the case. Pretty cool. And then each disc is different as well. This is the 4K UHD steelbooks. So I'll just zoom in just a little bit here. Zoom in. There we go. So real quick here, there is the artwork for season 1. And you got the discs on the inside. This is 4K and Dolby Atmos. And I gotta say, they did an absolute beautiful job with these 4K steelbooks of Game of Thrones. So this is season 2 artwork. This is definitely one of my favorite shows. And each case on the back has a quote from the show. So this says, "They say I'm half a man" by Tyrion Lannister. Season 3. And the quote is, "The Lannisters send their regards." And if you've seen the show, you know what that means. The Red Wedding. Red Wedding was one of those episodes, I think first episode I've ever seen of a TV show where I was just, I never read the book. I didn't know what happened during the Red Wedding. So it was all, I went in knowing nothing about it. And when that Red Wedding happened, dude, my jaw hit the floor until the end of the credits. I mean, I was so blown away by the Red Wedding. I had no idea that was coming. So this is season 4. Season 5. Now, what do you guys think about Game of Thrones? I know a lot of people really hated the way the show ended. A lot of people thought that Jon Snow should have been crowned king. This is season 6. And I'll talk about that in a moment. So, "Thousands of men don't need to die, only one of us" by Jon Snow. Season 7. And then the final season, season 8, if I can get it out of here. So here's season 8, the final season. And the quote is, "The Red Keep has never fallen. It won't fall today." Really. So yeah, this is an out-of-print box set. I mean, you probably find it on eBay for an exorbitant amount. But this is definitely one of my prized possessions with physical media. Let me zoom out a little bit there. Let's head back into the chat. Okay, let's see here. John Pemmel says, "No, I think the transfer is probably correct, although I think I saw an upscaled shot, as in, it looked fine. It looked like it came from 480. But I'll look closer again. Viewing on an OLED, so I have a nice screen." Then he says, "To be clear, I want this to look great. I love Star Trek Season 3. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that seems kind of weird. That'd be upscaled, but I don't know. Nothing really surprises me anymore with physical media, especially from these major studios that don't seem to really care about it. I've noticed that some studios seem to just put it out to appease the fans, and they don't really put any effort into what they're doing. Going back to Game of Thrones, let me know what you thought of it, the conclusion. Honestly, I never even gave it a thought that Jon Snow would be crowned king or should be crowned king, because he really shouldn't be crowned king. And if you watch, I watched the show again last year, and it really does make sense why Bronn was crowned king. It really makes sense, and they sprinkle clues to that throughout the entire series. Also with Daenerys, a lot of people thought that she just on a whim went nuts and it didn't make sense and didn't fit her character. Wrong, because even in season 2, they show the interior of King's Landing, and it's completely destroyed, and it snow falling. What we thought at the time was snow falling. Well, if you watch it again, it's actually ash that's falling. So they predicted the ending of what was going to happen in season 2. I forget what episode. So this was the plan all along. And Daenerys, I mean, she is a relative from the Mad King. And if you remember watching the show, throughout the series, there's times where she shows her madness. She shows what she can do when she gets mad. She completely destroyed those people with the fire. And there's other scenes where she was showing her true self throughout the series. Not as drastically as in last season, but she was getting there. And then when she finally had power, she just let it loose. So it all made sense to me. And when I watched it again the second time, it even made even more sense because I picked up on a lot of clues that I didn't pick up when I first watched it. But I'm curious what your thoughts on it are. Okay, I'm going to run through these real quick because I got a lot of them here. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I have the House of the Dragon Steelbook, 4K Steelbook. Love the artwork to this. It's pretty cool. It's too bad we're not going to get a season 2 until, 2025, I think they said, 2026. It just all depends on the writer's strike and the actor's strike. Next up here is True Romance from Arrow Video. This is the 4K, and I have a standard edition and the Steelbook edition. And come on, look at this. Look at that. How can you not pick up the Steelbook? Gorgeous artwork. Gorgeous artwork. And then you have on the inside there. So I love the pink and purple and orange tones with this artwork. And then on the inside, you've got these art cards. Just pretty cool. I love this art card right there. That's so cool. Yeah, I think this box set is out of print now, but you can buy just the standard Steelbook. I think Amazon has it for like $30 or something. It's definitely worth getting. Next up is Wild Things. Another one I had to get the Steelbook for because I just loved the artwork on the Steelbook. So there's the artwork. I did a full unboxing of this on my 4K versus Blu-ray comparison video of this. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out. But yeah, I had to get the Steelbook on that one as well. Next up, we have nothing fancy here, but it's Nightmare Alley. Kind of a doll looking artwork there. Nothing much to it. Next up is The Kingsman. I went ahead and picked this up. I'm not a huge fan of these movies. I actually liked the third one most of all, and I know a lot of people hated the third one. So here's the Steelbook to these. So that's The Kingsman, Secret Service. And you have The Kingsman, Golden Circle. And then the third one, The King's Man. So, I don't know. I kind of like the artwork here where it shows all three versions of the suit. I think it's pretty cool. Put these away here. Next up is Knock at the Cabin. I love the artwork to this Steelbook as well. And on the inside, you have silhouettes of all the characters. Pretty cool. Oh no. Oh no! This looks scratched. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Set that aside because the disc looks scratched somehow. One of my all-time favorite movies, Almost Famous. This is a Steelbook, of course. Some nice artwork there. 4K UHD. This is a pretty cool one as well. This is Us on 4K. And what's cool about this is that the scissors and the title Us, it's all embossed. So it's pretty cool. I love it when they do stuff like that. Next up is John Wick 4, but since I'm going to show John Wick 4, I'm going to show all the John Wicks. Now, I think I've shown this before, but this is a limited edition Steelbook set, and it's supposed to make look like a fake book. And you open it up, and it even has pages like it's a book. And I just ruined it all. So you've got the first John Wick. Pretty cool artwork there, and I like the discs look like the coins. I've heard some people don't really like the artwork to these, but I think they're pretty cool. It comes with a couple art cards as well. Keanu Reeves is backward, upside down. There. Let's see, John Wick Chapter 2. And John Wick Chapter 3. Which John Wick was your guys' favorite? I'd like to know. I missed John Wick 1, which I'm sure a lot of people did too, in the theater. But I saw the rest in the theater, and I loved all of them. I think I like 3 better than 2. And then here's John Wick Chapter 4. And again, Lionsgate goes all out with their steelbooks where they put these O-rings or slip covers on the steelbook, and it matches the tone of the movie. So this is pretty cool here. And here is the steelbook, and I love the inside there with the neon font, electric neon font of John Wick. Mad God, which is an amazing stop motion feature from Phil Titt. It literally took him 30 years to make this thing. And if you've seen it, you know why. If you haven't seen this, it's a must see movie. I probably wouldn't watch it with little kids though, because it would scare the crap out of them. But I think if you have Shudder, it's on Shudder. But I really recommend you watching that. Next up is I Am Coming to America. One of the all-time greatest comedies. And it also includes a fold-out poster here. That's pretty cool. And next up is Quentin Tarantino's, the movie that put him on the map. Pulp Fiction, which isn't my favorite Tarantino movie. I think my favorite Tarantino movie is Inglourious Basterds. That's definitely my favorite one. I think that's the one where he really showed what he could be as a director. I've heard people say that Inglourious Basterds showed that he can be mature as a director. What's your guys' favorite John Wick movie? Next up is Punisher Warzone, another one from Lionsgate. I love the artwork. This is incredible artwork. I don't know who the artist is, but I mean, just take a look at that. Incredible, beautiful artwork. Reminiscences of the comic books. I had this on a standard 4K edition, but I saw this steelbook, and I don't normally do this, but I had to get it because of the artwork. Just fantastic artwork. Next up is The Cabin in the Woods. So another one where Lionsgate uses artwork on the O-ring, and it goes with the artwork on the steelbook. I liked this movie a lot. This was a really fun movie. Let me look at the comments here. Any new comments? No new comments? Come on, guys. Talk to me. Next up is Shutter Island. Fantastic Martin Scorsese film. And then here's some horror movies here. Let's see here. John Pemmel says that grid slip for Cabin in the Woods is amazing. Yeah, man. I'm looking for something here. It's not here. Yeah, I really love how Lionsgate really does their steelbooks. They put a lot of effort into it. This is for us horror fans. Fright Night, the steelbook. I love the artwork to the steelbook. Harks back to the original poster artwork. Then we have Scream 1 and Scream 2. I love the inside of Scream 2. because you see the, that's cool. The eyes, I think that's pretty cool. Almost done, guys, sort of. Not really. Next up is Blade. 4K Steelbook. Let's see here. John Pimmel says... that's not John Pimmel. I'll get to you in a second. John Pimmel says, and Kevin Woods is amazing. I initially scoffed at it. Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, man. I mean... The only reason I went to go see it is because Alexander Garland wrote it. He wrote it, right? And or did he direct it? No, I think he wrote it. And that's the main reason why I did, because I love Alex Garland stuff. And I was kind of the same way, where it was kind of like, what is this? Just a rehash of all the other horror movies we've seen for years. And it's hot in here, and I started sweating, and I thought I brought a little rag to wipe my face. And like you, boy, were you wrong, and I was wrong too as well. And then JT, the talking head. How's it going, Paul? Hey, JT, I'm so glad you're able to make it tonight. I know this was short notice, so I'm glad whoever showed up. Leave your comments and leave your questions, comments, whatever you want to tell me in the comments section, and I'll read them on air. All-time great 90s action movie, cliffhanger, 4K. Now, the difference between the Steelbook and the standard edition 4K is that the Steelbook includes Dolby Vision, but that's the only difference. So it's not a it's not a new transfer or anything like that. It just includes Dolby Vision, and it looks amazing. Sony really puts in a lot of work and care for their 4K quality. You can never go wrong with a Sony 4K. Next up is Saving Private Ryan, probably hailed as one of the best World War II films ever made. And this is another one where I had the standalone case, but I had to pick this up because I love the artwork where it resembles a cartridge case. 200 cartridges, 7.62 millimeter. So I love that Cantina case. Let's look here at the comments. Yes, sir. Just dropping in while I'm making some dinner. Hope you feel better than you did the other day. Yeah, man, I was really bad the other day. And even last night, I wasn't sure I was going to make it tonight because I was hurting so bad all day. But I was feeling better, and I'm off the hydrocodone, which is an opioid pain medication, and now I'm having really bad withdrawal effects. That's why I'm sweating so much right now. Not sure if you can see it on the camera, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a live show and try to get my mind off these withdrawal effects that I'm having because they can be brutal. The Moreau family, so chill, how's it going? Says, have you seen Santa Sangre? I don't think so. I don't think I've heard of that. What is that? Is that on streaming now? I'm not sure if I heard of that movie. What's it about? Let me know, please. And she says, it's one of my favorites visually. I don't think I have. Let me look it up here. Oops. What's it called? Santa... From 1989, a former circus artist escapes from a mental hospital to rejoin his armless mother, the leader of a strange religious cult, and is forced to enact brutal murders in her name as he becomes her arms. No, but it sounds right up my alley. And it's NC-17. Ooh. Let's see here. I always go down to why it's violence and gore is severe. Yeah, this definitely sounds right up my alley. I'm definitely going to check it out. Do you know if it's on stream anywhere? If not, I'm going to have to find a way to get it on physical media. One thing about withdrawals from opioid medication is that you start sweating profusely. So I apologize if you see me pouring of sweat. John Pemmel talks about the movie too. It'll be right up your alley, and the Sevron 4K set is terrific. Oh, Sevron put out a 4K? Huh, that's awesome. Well, John knows the type of movies I like, so if you recommend it, we're similar tastes. So yeah, if he recommends it, definitely I'll check it out. Oh, okay. It's an Alejandro Jodorowsky. Okay. Then I'll probably definitely check it out. Oh, it's on Tubi. Okay. I don't really watch many movies on Tubi because a lot of times they have the wrong aspect ratio and wrong transfer and stuff, but maybe I'll check that out. I'll check it out on Tubi definitely because before I spend the money to buy the 4K. Thanks so much for that recommendation. I appreciate it. Definitely check it out. I'm always up for new movie recommendations. Next up is Michael Mann's classic, and I think his masterpiece, Heat. Cannot wait for him to start shooting the sequel to Heat. They're supposed to start shooting next year, so hopefully if the strike is over, they will start shooting. I can't wait to see Ferrari, though. That trailer looked insane. That movie just looks incredible. I cannot wait for Ferrari to come out. Next up is The Hurt Locker, this is cool too because it comes with the discs. I don't know. It's like a replica of those old DVD-R or CDRs that we used to have back in the day, and it's even written. Hurt Locker is even written in like a felt ink pen, so it's pretty cool. And I love the artwork to this. Next up is an 80s classic from Brian De Palma, and that is Untouchables. But are they untouchable, really? I love this too because it had the bullet holes. I just wish that the bullet holes were embossed so you could feel the design. That would have been cool. But it's not. But still, I really love the artwork to this. And this is another one from Lionsgate. And it's Akira Kurosawa's classic masterpiece, Ran. And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit because I don't think you'll be able to see it unless I do. So take a look at his eyes. So his eye is red, right? And then you move the slip cover of the O-ring and his eye isn't red anymore. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I enjoy the simple things. So yeah, another one that Lionsgate really put a lot into, and I love the artwork. I love the artwork to this. It looks gorgeous. But the artwork on the Steelbook is even better. Take a look at that. That is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous artwork there. I mean, yeah, as far as artwork, this is definitely my favorite out of my collection. And then you have the inside there. If you guys have never seen Ran, it is a terrific film. Akira Kurosawa was actually making the movie when he got sick, and he went blind during the making of the movie, and he still stuck to it, and he still finished the movie. I'm sure he had people ghost directing for him, but he finished the movie, and he considers it his absolute masterpiece. Roger Ebert said it was his second or third favorite movie of the 80s. So yeah, guys, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Here's some other ones. Flashdance. I love the 80s vibe to this artwork here. It's pretty cool. What a feeling. Speed. Another one. Let's try to get through this here. This is really cool. This is the Hunger Games. Let me take a break here and see what's going on here. John Pym says, after seeing Ran, I never looked at Salt the same way again, right? Yeah, man, I haven't seen Ran in forever. And then when they came out with this 4K, I originally imported it from Studio Canal. And then Lionsgate came out with this 4K, and I had to ditch that one and pick this one up. It's the exact same transfer, though. This is really cool with the Hunger Games. I had to pick this up. What's cool about this, and let's see if if I can show it without dropping them all and ruining them all. But they actually go together. On the back of them, they actually go together to form a map. So let's see here if I can put this right. So kind of like a map there. So when you put all 4 of them together, they form one big map. So it's pretty cool. Let me see if I can do this without killing myself. Is that it? That's not it. So yeah, it forms one big map of the location they're in. And then the artwork. This is specially designed artwork for each one of them. So this is the artwork. I think this is Mockingjay Part 2. And I love the inside artwork here with the flowers. This is Mockingjay Part 1. So there's the artwork there. And then on the inside, even more artwork. I really love this artwork. I actually talked to the designer, and her name escapes me, but she designed, Lionsgate hired her to design each one of these specifically tailored to the theme of the movie. And she did a terrific job, I think. Look at that. That is awesome. I love that. This is Catching Fire, and then on the inside with the discs. So yeah, you can definitely see with the artwork which movie you're watching. And this is the first one. This one I don't really like because it's just her. Like, who cares? But on the inside, still, I mean, it's nice. I just wish it was something better than just a portrait of her. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I have a friend in Germany who is a diehard Hunger Games fan. His name is Dieter Bastian, and he actually asked me if I can buy him one of these sets and ship it to him. I did, and so I hope he's enjoying them. This is a couple TV shows that I've got here. One is Band of Brothers. This is the original release on Blu-ray. So it resembles a cartridge can again, and then it folds out like this. So that's pretty cool. Woohoo! Look at that centerfold. And like that's all the movies there, and they don't make this anymore. This is when it first came out. And then I got the sequel of Band of Brothers, The Pacific, which has the exact same thing. Artwork there, and it folds out the exact same way. Oh, actually, it's different. Oh, yeah, it's different. Oh, it's different. So this one actually comes out. Band of Brothers is like glued into the case. It doesn't come out. So I'm actually glad they did that with Pacific because it's a little hard to get the discs out when they're glued into the case. Next up is Dexter. Huge fan of Dexter. And then he came out with that new series, New Blood. Had to pick up the steelbook to that as well. And the artwork inside. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Dexter, definitely check it out. It is a great show. I kind of started falling off towards the end of the series. And I really didn't like the conclusion of Dexter season 8. I'm not the only one. What's his name again? The guy who played Dexter, Michael C. Hall, he absolutely hated the ending to how they ended Dexter. The creator absolutely hated it. And so they went back after, I think, 10 years, and they finally did Dexter right. They were able to conclude the series perfectly. Next up is El Camino. This is the movie to Breaking Bad. I don't think they make this steelbook anymore. This is a made for Netflix movie. One of the first ones they put out for physical media. Had to grab it. I'm a huge fan of Breaking Bad. Last night I showed Battlestar Galactica. I'm going to try to go through these quicker. I'm almost done here. You know, guys, if you're bored with this, I'm sorry, but you're the ones who asked me to do this. because going through collections takes a long time. So yeah, let's see here. So this is my Marvel collection. So this is Spider-Man, No Way Home. Love that artwork. And then Spider-Man. I think this is the second one. I'm not sure. And then this one is really cool. This is Ant-Man, and the artwork resembles a hard drive, and then you have Ant-Man right in there. It's pretty cool. And on the inside, you have like the internal parts of the hard drive. This is out of print as well. Let's see here. Tidbit Kid, hey man, how's it going? Haven't seen you here for a while. Sorry for my hot take. That comparison video for a movie that's theatrical intended premium format is 3D, that a 4K regular Blu-ray comparison might not be needed. Which more conversion boxes were available? I don't know what you're talking about. To make any TV stereophonic 3D for Blu-ray 3D playback. Sorry, man. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. What movie are you talking about? Please refresh my memory because I don't remember. Here is Captain America. The Winter Soldier, which is definitely one of my favorite. And then here we have Civil War. Love that artwork for Civil War. And it's indented there, so you got the impression there. It's pretty cool. Then we got Batman, the Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman. Let's see here. Jump Himmel says, a favorite steelbook for me that also has a paper slip is The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Also came with a CD soundtrack. Yeah, man, I wanted that so bad, but it went out of print before I was able to get it. And actually, MVD that I review for, they send out stuff for Synapse. Synapse is the one that released that, right? So they weren't able to send me that, but they sent me just the standard Blu-ray disc, which looks great, by the way. I love that movie. And I really wanted that set so bad. Let's see here. 4K King. Hey, man. Good to see you here. Tidbit Kid says, Hugo 4K. Oh, well, let me say something here. I mean, 3D was huge after Avatar in 2009. Every movie was converted 3D. Every movie was shot on 3D. People were buying 3D TVs. They were accessible. I had a 3D TV. Actually, I had two 3D TVs. And honestly, man, I mean, now with 4K, a lot of people have ditched, who had 3D, has ditched their 3D because they don't even make 3D unless it's rare. But they don't even make 3D Blu-rays anymore here in the States. You have to import them in from Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I think Avatar is the exception. I know Avatar was 3D. Hugo was released in 3D when it came out, when 3D was real popular. But the reason why I said about the 4K is because it is upconverted from the Blu-ray, and a lot of people wonder if it's worth getting on 4K. Movies are worth getting on 4K because the movie is upconverted. So I figured, hey, you know what? I'm not sure how many people want to see a comparison of Hugo between the 4K and the Blu-ray, but to your point, I mean, majority of people don't have, your everyday person who has a 4K TV, they don't have 3D TVs. I mean, I know a lot of people still have 3D TVs. I know some people who do, but it's a really small amount. I mean, this physical media community is a real small community anyways, and people who have 3D and still buy 3D is even smaller. So, you know, I try to make my channel broad for everybody, and the majority of people only don't have 3D, they have 4K, and they see a movie's out in 4K, they wonder if it's worth ditching their Blu-ray for. So that's what that's about. But I understand what you're saying about 3D. John Pimmel says here, yeah, Synapse, yeah. I've been getting some stuff from my rep over at MVD from Synapse, which I'm really happy about. Here we are is Top Gun Maverick. I love that artwork on the Steelbook. Love the movie. This Tom Cruise, say what you will about his beliefs and his personal life, but he knows how to make a damn good movie. And he puts in everything in his movies because he wants... he knows you're shelling out money to go see his movie, and so he wants to make sure you're getting every dollar's worth, and he makes that happen with every one of his movies. I wish Dead Reckoning did better. I did like Fallout better than Dead Reckoning, but I still love Dead Reckoning. I wish it did better at the box office. Tidbit Kid says, wish those conversion boxes were popular again so those could collect them and watch them. Any TV, HDMI output. He's had a really good box office track record. Yeah, he has. Are you talking about the box that converts 2D to 3D? Because if you're talking about that, it's honestly not true 3D. Because I had one of those and I thought it looked like a hot mess. It's not true 3D as you would get on a 3D disc. It's just converted. It's kind of like up converting 1080p. It's like watching a 1080p Blu-ray disc on your 4K TV, and your 4K TV upgrades it to 2160p. It's not true 2160p or true 4K. Just because a box or a TV upconverts it that way, that doesn't make it that it's true 4K or true 3D. You have to have that on the disc because it's encoded on the disc. But yeah, I mean, I always like 3D. At home, 3D is great at home. One of the best 3D movies I saw at home was Dread 3D. Absolutely fantastic. John Pimmel says here, I am seeing that Steelbook of Manchester Morgue with a CD at Diabolic now is $47. But I do see it there, and I think it's the same thing when I have. Yeah, oh yeah, they did have it, and I would check back and forth, and then the next day it'd be out of stock, and then they would get more in, and it'd be out of stock. I kind of gave up on it because they sent me the standard edition, and I don't know, I just kind of gave up on it and thought, you know what, I'm going to spend my $50 on something else. Forrest Gump on 4K, and I think it's movies like this that started giving 4K a bad name, because when studios were first getting into 4K, really all they would do is upconvert it from the Blu-ray. But here's the thing too, is that they had it in their mind that everybody who wants 4K wants a super clean, sparkly, crystal clear image. And so what did they do in order to do that? They heavily scrubbed the image of all grain. And what that does is the problem with that is that if you void and scrub the image of its natural grain, then what happens is that the image becomes very soft, and you lose a lot of detail, a lot of depth to the image, because they basically it's like putting on makeup. They basically just put makeup over the image, and so you lose all of that 35 millimeter grain, all that 35 millimeter depth, and this is one of them that they did that to. Another one was Terminator 2, which I've talked about heavily on this channel. See, John Pimmel says, at the end of the day, the film on whatever set is the best to have. Yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't seen Manchester Morgue, definitely check it out. I think it's on Shudder if you guys have Shudder, but it's a great zombie movie. And I did a review of it on my channel. I talked about what sets this zombie movie apart from, like, what's his name? Dawn of the Dead. Guy who directed Dawn of the Dead. I can't believe the name escapes me. How can I can't believe it. I can't believe I don't remember his name. Romero. I talked about what that separates from George Romero, and I also talk about Lucy as well with his zombie movies. So check out that review; it's somewhere on my channel. Next up is No Time to Die. I haven't been a huge fan of the new James Bond movies because I understand why they updated it more towards. I understand completely why they updated the character, but still, I really like the old version of James Bond, the womanizing. The old Sean Connery was the best James Bond, and I do kind of miss that, but. I really liked Casino Royale. I think was the best one out of all of them, and No Time to Die was fun too. Ford versus Ferrari. I love this artwork. Beautiful artwork there. Great movie, guys. This is a good movie. This was actually the last movie I saw in the theater with my dad before he passed away. So this is kind of. I mean, I'm choking up even talking about it. But I haven't been able to watch it since my dad passed away. But it's such a good movie, and I have to hold on to it because it's kind of sentimental. Next up is Christopher Nolan with Tenet. It's pronounced the same, backwards or forwards. There we go. Here's some more. Marvel, The Avengers Assembled, complete 4 Steelbook Collection. Comes with this cool little note by... let me open it. By Kevin Feige. So it's just like a thank you note to the fans. Pretty cool. And the artwork to the Steelbooks aren't anything, amazing. But so you have the Avengers. That's mainly all it is just the Avengers logos, and you have the artwork there. I'm not going to pull them out because they're all the same. It's just the Avenger logo, but different colors. There's blue, maroon, purple, and then a darker purple. Okay, got a couple more here, and then we will move on. So this is another one from Paramount. They actually did a 4K to Cloverfield. This is a 4K upsample. It looks pretty good. But I love that artwork there where it has the lens of Cloverfield. And then you have the city under destruction, under attack. I always like this movie. This is the only POV shot movie that I actually like. I hate all other POV shot movies. One thing though is like movies that are shot POV style, but the audio is in 5.1 or Dolby Atmos, and I'm thinking, man, that's a really good camera. That camera has some really good audio quality for just a Handycam. 10 Cloverfield Lane. I love this artwork as well. It's pretty cool artwork there, and a great sequel to Cloverfield. Next up is Dirty Dancing. Now they're from Lionsgate. Again, I love the artwork on the O-ring, how it matches with the artwork on the Steelbook. So that's pretty cool. And I love the purple artwork there. And this looks like it's actually drawn, not photoshopped artwork. And then on the inside there. Very nice artwork. Next we have is Groundhog Day. Really nice 4K. It's a Wonderful Life in 4K. This looks absolutely gorgeous on 4K. And it comes with a little mini poster. This is another movie that after my dad passed I can't watch because this is one of his favorite movies, but I have to hold on to it. Then we got Creed and Creed 2. I didn't pick up Creed 3 because I really didn't care for it. So there's Creed and Creed 2. Now this one is one that I absolutely love, and it is Transformers, the movie from 1986. Love this steelbook from Shop Factory, and this is the 4K, and it comes with an envelope here, and I believe it's just some art cards. Yeah, it's just some art cards from the movie. Kind of a cool little addition to it. I don't know if anybody watching this was old enough to see this in the theater, but do you remember when Optimus Prime died? Yeah. One of the saddest times in the theater. You didn't know it was coming. There was no spoilers for that movie because there was no internet, so nobody knew what was coming. And then Optimus Prime died. One of my favorite movies, even when this came out, it was one of my favorite movies, and everyone hated it, and they looked at me like, are you nuts? You actually like this movie? Last Action Hero. This was definitely way ahead of its time. I think that if this was definitely made today, it would be received a whole lot better. And this is one of those movies that when it first came out, it was a huge bomb, huge disaster, lost tons of money. It was ridiculed by critics and people who went to go see it. And now today, I guess it's considered a cult classic. It's just funny how 20, 30 years later, movies like this that were huge bombs are now considered classics. This is another one that's pretty cool, Alita Battle Angel. It's real simple artwork, but I love the look of it. And this is the 4K, and this also includes the 3D. And I think this is one of my favorite artworks. It's Dragon Slayer from Paramount. Love this artwork on this 4K. And it's also a beautiful, beautiful 4K. If you guys haven't checked out my comparison between the 4K and the Blu-ray, you need to go check it out because there are some major improvements there. There's parts where sorcery is used, and it's used to ignite fire that's green. Well, on the Blu-ray, it wasn't green. It was like white or something, and then on the 4K, it's actually green. And so they brought it all back to its intended theatrical colors, which is pretty nice. These are some box sets, 4K box sets. These I bought overseas because they didn't have these box sets here. And as Casablanca. And so here's the steelbook to the 4K of Casablanca. Really nice. Includes a lot of different extras. I'm not going to go through it all. If you want to see what all this includes, you can check out my review that's up. But yeah, I know they have the steelbook here in the States, but I wanted this box set because it looks cool and it comes with all those goodies. Another one is the Sting. And this is a movie I never saw before until I got this. And I don't know why I never checked this out before, but it's absolutely such a great film. I'm so glad that I got the 4K to this. Okay, guys, we got like 5 more and then we're done. Now, more than 5. Ugh. Ugh. There we go. All right, I'm going to run through these. So we have Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I had the white steel cases previously. I didn't really care for the artwork, so when they released these with the original artwork, I went in and sold those white steel books, and I got these instead. So there's Temple of Doom and The Last Crusade, and people keep saying there's a 4th movie. I don't know what they're talking about. I've never heard of or ever seen a 4th Indiana Jones. Let's see here. John Pimble says, you are going to be up all night putting these back on the shelf. Yeah, I was thinking about that while I'm putting them down. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to pick them up and put them back. It's a good way to reorganize your collection, though. Not that I'm complaining. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way. That's how I thought about it. I put these out here last night thinking, well, it's a good way to reorganize my collection. Here's Star Wars. This is Solo. I like the artwork for that. I didn't mind the movie. I thought the movie was okay. But this is Rogue One is definitely the best new Star Wars movie, I think. And this Steelbook is not available for the 4K. I got this for the 3D back when I had a 3D TV, and I liked the case so much that I kept and just swapped out the discs and put the 4K in the disc, in the case. Let's see. Anthony Chobot does Pop Cultures and Openings. Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you here. How you doing, buddy? By the way, I got 918 subscribers. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. I'm reaching at almost 5,000 subscribers, which I'm just blown away by. It took a long time to get there, though, because I've been on here for coming on 7 years now, and it's slow growing, especially right now, because YouTube is so saturated right now that it's hard to find your place of what works for you. But you just got to find what works for you and keep at it. Social media has been really good too. Like, I'm having a lot of success on TikTok. So if you guys aren't following me on TikTok, give me a follow, because I've been putting up a lot of different reviews and early 4K versus Blu-ray comparison reviews on TikTok. I think it's just at Twin Flicks, or Paul at Twin Flicks. One of my all-time favorite movies, Gattaca. Love this movie. Absolutely love this movie. And this is more relevant today than it was when it came out in 97. And then I picked up Quiet Place. This is the Steelbook. The claw marks are all embossed or indented, so you can feel the damage done to the Steelbook. Pretty cool. Now this, I don't believe they had the Steelbook. They may have re-released it, I don't know. But when I bought the 4K, they didn't have this book for the 4K, so I did with Rogue One. Or I love the artwork to the Steelbook so much, so I just swapped out the discs and put the 4K in the Blu-ray disc. And here is Quiet Place Part 2. Not as good as Quiet Place Part 1 as a movie and also as the artwork, but it's decent. This is another one from Lionsgate, Ghost in the Shell, for its 25th anniversary. Love this artwork, guys. Take a look at this artwork with this beautiful anime. Gorgeous artwork. Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. And this is a 4K. Now, a lot of these I've done 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons. So if you haven't checked those out, they're in my playlist. Yeah, one of my favorite movies. Let's see here. Anthony, what are you saying? Just tagged you on Facebook. Oh, well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's nice of you. Thanks so much. That's really nice of you. Yeah, guys, if you haven't followed Anthony, definitely check him out. Check his YouTube channel out and stuff. So thanks for tagging me. Back to the Future trilogy. And I'm holding them like this. See if I can do it like this. But yeah, whoops. That's not right. What? I think I gotta put it the other way. Yeah. There we go. Let's do like that, maybe. Anyways, you get the idea. So the artwork is designed to put together for the DeLorean. Really nice artwork. Great movies. And that's it. That's it, guys. That's all my Steelbook collection. It only took an hour to get through it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I have these down here. These are all Blu-rays that I have stashed to the side that I'm going to be doing 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons of. 3 Days of the Condor I'm getting in soon. I almost dropped them. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow, Ghoulies 1 and 2. I'm doing all 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons of this. This is interesting too, because I bought Crimes of the Future 4K, the domestic version. Well, Second Sight is releasing their 4K at the end of this month. So I'm going to be doing a 4K versus 4K comparison to see which transfers best. Toxic Avenger is getting a 4K at the end of the month, and I believe I'm being sent that. So I'm going to do a comparison of that too. And I'm doing another 4K versus 4K comparison of Carlito's Way, because Arrow Video has released their 4K version that I believe comes out in October. So I'm going to compare the two 4Ks and see which transfers better. Cujo is also coming out in October. Can't wait for that one. But the big one that I've been anxiously waiting for is There Will Be Blood. The movie is, first of all, it's really the first Paul Thomas Anderson movie that Paul Thomas Anderson, right? That I actually really loved. This movie is an absolute masterpiece. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Absolute masterpiece of a film. This is what you call film and cinema. And so 4K is coming out to this in November, and I can't wait. That's going to look absolutely gorgeous on 4K. And of course, The Blob is coming out on 4K. Going to be doing a comparison of that too. That comes out October 4th. And another one that I've been really rallying to get 4K on, and that is The Fugitive. Can't wait for The Fugitive to be on 4K. And then next year, because I was just told that they expected this to be out this year, but Second Sight said they had to push it to at least, I think, February of next year. And that is The Hitcher. This never even got a Blu-ray release. And the rights have been held up for years. I believe the producer has been holding the rights hostage. And they won't, the amount that he wants for the domestic version is like astronomical. And but Second Sight, somehow Second Sight was able to convince him to sell the rights to them. And they did doing a new 4K UHD overhaul on this film. It's a complete overhaul. I've been following the director and Second Sight, and the director is like really heavily involved in the supervising the 4K restoration of The Hitcher. So yeah, that's probably going to be my release of the year next year. Let's see here. The Burrell family says Gattaca was beyond its years. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, when that, I don't know if you guys remember when that came out, but it was not a hit. People didn't really care for it. Now it's considered a classic, and like I said earlier, it definitely is holds true for today than it did back in '97. John Pimble says, "Come on, don't forget to rave about Pumpkinhead." Yeah, Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead is one that I never got a Blu-ray to. I don't know why I never got the Blu-ray to it. So that comes out in October 10th, I believe. So I need to find a Blu-ray copy of that before the 4K comes out so I can do a comparison between the 4K and the Blu-ray. But I think it's cheap. I think Amazon has them on there for like $13-14 now. So I'm going to have to do that before I get the 4K. All right, now I got to clean all this up like Joan said, but I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow. All right, guys. A few more minutes here before we get going. There's one thing I wanted to just talk about with the strike. I'm seeing a lot of creators, YouTube, social media creators, where they're refusing to review studio movies. They're refusing to watch movies. They're even saying that they're going to cut their HBO, Disney streaming services because of the strike. I have good friends that are writers and actors in the business. And I've seen a lot of writers and actors post on their social media account about this. The few people that I talk to, and I've mentioned this to them, they laugh and they say, please don't do that. Please don't boycott HBO or what's called Max now. Please don't boycott Disney. Please don't boycott theaters. Please go see movies. Please talk about movies. And they all say, because number one, this is their fight, not our fight. We don't really have we don't have a place in this fight that they have with the studios. They appreciate our support, but it's their fight. In the end, is what they're saying. Also, they're saying that if you boycott movies or the streaming channels, or especially theaters, then that means that theaters are going to suffer, and theaters are already having a big hardship right now anyways after the pandemic. Regal is already bankrupt. AMC is on the verge of bankruptcy. So if you start boycotting going to see movies, what does that do to the theaters? That doesn't help the theaters at all. And And like this one actor told me I was talking to, he said, when the strike is over, we want theaters to be open so that people have a reason to go back to theaters. If people are boycotting going to see movies and the theaters end up closing down, then there's no theaters open to see movies when the strike is over, because the strike is not going to last forever. There's going to be a compromise sooner or later. It's just, you have two this writer explains to me this way. You have two pet bulls going out of each other, but they haven't been released yet to attack each other. They're just growling at each other. They're just flexing their muscles at each other. And the studios, of course, I don't agree with what they're doing, why they're causing a strike. I mean, a writer friend of mine said that the amount of money they want for compensation is only like, what did they say? Like, I think it said like 4.3% of what they make per year. And that's including all the studios together, Netflix, Amazon, Warner Brothers, Paramount, all the studios together. That is pocket change to these studios. Absolute pocket change to these studios and these CEOs. So there's absolutely no reason why they can't do that. And then during a strike, Netflix executives are giving themselves $1 million bonuses. Insane. I've always said that when the studio heads, when this strike starts affecting them, that's when they're going to take a step back and say, okay, we're going to compromise and we're going to solve this issue. Right then, it wasn't affecting them. Today, though, there was an article where it said, I think David Zaslav or Bob Iger, one of them said that they're bleeding between $400 and $600 million a day for this during this strike. So they're starting to feel the effects of the strike. So yeah, when they start really feeling the effects of the strike, that's when they're going to compromise. Right now they're just flexing. But going back to what I was saying originally, don't stop sharing your studio movies. I mean, if you have movies that you ordered that come in, first of all, you ordered them, so why not show them? And refusing to show them on social media or YouTube, what is that going to solve? That's not going to solve anything. Like, you think studios are going to step back and be like, whoa, they're not going to show the Sting on their YouTube channel. I guess we better stop this strike. They don't care. So as a writer and actor friend of mine said to me, he said, again, this is their fight, not our fight. That doing this is not supporting the strike at all because it has absolutely no effect on the strike. He said that your everyday person, your movie lover, they're not going to resolve or help the strike in absolutely any way by refusing to talk about studio movies or reviewing movies or things like that. Anyways, this is coming from, I just wanted to talk about that because I'm seeing more and more social media accounts on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, where they're refusing to review studio movies, where they're refusing, if they get a new movie that comes in, they're refusing to show it or do an unboxing, which I'm not the only one that thinks that's ridiculous. All the writers and actors I've talked to also think that's ridiculous. And if you go on these writers and actors' social media accounts, they have videos saying, please don't do that because it's not helping. It's just, if you want to help the strike, there's websites you can go to and you can donate money. There's other things you can do to support the strike rather than boycotting movie reviews, going to see movies, boycotting studios, because still this is art. This is art that we love, art that we appreciate. And I don't ever want to boycott talking about Back to the Future or any other new movie that's coming out, like Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. When I get that steelbook or version, I want to show it because it's a movie that I loved. And so not showing that is not helping the strike in any way. Anyways, I just want to give my 2 cents on that. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that some of these social media personalities are taking this way too far and making a way bigger deal out of it than there needs to be. I don't know. Like I said, it's my opinion, and I've talked to about 3 or 4 different writers and actors that I know of that are all in the WGA, all in the SAG, SAG, and they all agree with me, and they all say the same thing, that please don't do that. But you know, if I guess if you're a social media personality and you want to do that and you consciously feel like you need to do that, fine. But don't think that that's how you're supporting the strike, because you're not. It's not helping the strike, supporting the strike whatsoever. I have a friend, Tyler Haas, who works in visual effects, and I talked to him about it. He's not in any union, but I was talking to him about it, and he said that when us professionals look at TikTok videos or social media videos where people are doing this, they just laugh because they know that it's overreacting and they're not doing anything to help. But like I said, if you want to help, there's websites that you can go to sign a petition, to donate money. Those are the ways to help support the strike. Anyways, that's enough for that. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that and see if anybody out there agrees with me. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to get going here. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, no. Oh, no. There we go. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. My back is starting to kill me, and I got to go rest. So thanks, guys, so much for coming on, watching this little video that I did. Again, I'm sorry it was very short notice, but I'm glad to see the few of you that came on. It's really nice to have a little bit of an audience. As always, guys, thanks so much for your support, and keep physical media alive, guys, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, we'll see you next time, guys.